Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I want to show you a quick trick behind me. If you haven't done it before, the Club Ark is a pretty awesome thing to do, and one of the best missions that you can run is the Bounty Hunter missions. Now those Bounty Hunter missions, if you want to really make a lot of cash inside of the game, you can do this right here, and this is the actual train robber. You can do this little trick I'm about to show you on any difficulty, but because I'm going solo, I'm only going to show you on the low level, but this works for all of them. This is a quick, I mean, if you want to call it a cheat, it's basically like a little hack or an exploit that you can use in order to skip a majority of the actual thing by going onto a train in a certain area. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that, because that's pretty much how everyone on Official is running it right now. So yeah, if everyone on Official is running it, you should for sure know how to run it too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and, oh man, sometimes I forget that this first part by yourself is not fun. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open that. So basically this first part, there's not really a good way to skip it. You kind of just have to go through the whole thing, and that's just how it is. But it is what it is, right? So this, you can basically skip the entire second part in order to run more shots. Should be good, right? Come on, thank you. There we go. All right, so this is the part that we're actually going to be able to skip. Once you get to this part, you essentially have to do the first train car and then know the jumping pattern, and then you can be good to go to easily use this little kind of exploit, if you want to think of it that way, right? So let's go ahead and get this, because we know that two of them are going to come in, and there's that. All right, there we go. Hello, goodbye. All right, so I'm not even going to bother really with the rest of this, but you can see that we're doing just fine right now. All right, so now that we've gotten through this part, the reason you want to be able to know this cheat is because you want to be able to, when you're on the more difficult settings, to be able to use this, because on Gamma, it's obviously insanely easy. You can just run it. But if you want to skip this entire section of the train, all you have to do is run from right here and jump for this. And boom. See how I've landed up on this ledge? You're trying to get to this middle section right here. And then once you've done this, you can run to the other end of the train and drop right off the back side. Now, why would this be useful, right? Because now, instead of having to fight my way through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more cars, I can run around the front of the train, just like you see me doing right now. It's actually like 8 more cars. You can skip literally 8 cars by doing this. And you just run around the front of the train, just like I'm showing you right now. And you jump up the front of the train. And guess what? We are now in the front of the train, and you can take complete control of the train. Now, this is how you do this next part, because you sometimes get left behind, because it's like, hey, what's going on? You shouldn't have been able to do that, blah, 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 blah. So that's how you skip the entire train. Now, you only need one person to do it. All 4, if you're running with 4 people, only one person needs to do it, and the other 3 can just ride the actual train, and then you get teleported onto the actual plane or the train area like right now. So that is all you have to do. Now, if you're playing this on Gamma, obviously it's very simple, but this trick is the most useful when you're on Alpha, because when you are on Alpha, it basically lets you skip literally everything, which is a very useful thing, obviously. Excuse me, how did that not get hit? And then the next thing that you want to know is if you go between the tracks, like oops, what the heck? Like, where'd that thing spawn? Okay, so if you are between, see how this guy's going to hit the actual train itself? What you can do is you can hide between the actual tracks, like I am right now. And when you hide between the tracks, you can't get hit from either side. So if you're in a situation where you have one to the left and right, like I'm experiencing right now, you kind of just sit here and you're good to go. And then if you're good, you can just step away, and that's it. That is how you actually do this next little mini exploit. So that middle section, that's how you do it. And then you stand between the tracks if you're trying to avoid the actual creatures, and I mean the death worms. And that's the second thing that you're going to do. So using both of those in combination will give you a really good way to avoid literally all the dangerous stuff from this. How did that not get hit? Thank you, game. And again, we're just going to go right to the middle section right here. How did that? Excuse me? What? Are you not going to die? Okay, cool. I'm going to die here then. So I don't know why that's being like that, but it is. So it is what it is. Come on now. Thank you, game. So if you're experiencing like I am right now and you're getting a little caught behind, just run back and forth, because the biggest thing that hurts is the actual burn from these things, the phoenixes. Thank you, game. Okay, I was like, I thought there was one spawning over there. But again, you can hide in these middle sections right here, which is the best thing that you can do to avoid the entire deathworm part. Because that's, the deathworms will one-tap you. Excuse me? Sometimes I don't understand how this works, but you know, it is what it is. All right, come on now, game. Excuse me? Hey, now, thank you. All right, so we're just going to stand between just like this right here. And by standing between, the deathworms won't be able to hit us. And that's our goal, to avoid the deathworms. Now, once the actual thing activates, see how we're between the two? 1 and 2 can strike, and we don't get hit because we're between. And that's all you have to do in order to kind of cheese this fight. Now, we should be able to get this before anything comes nearby. Oh, come on now, game. And that's it. That is how you cheese pretty much the entire train ride. Pretty simple. And yeah. So, anyways, hope for this video helps you out. Teach. Ah.